we got some changes with the new season. And low-key, some of these changes are actually a lot bigger than any of the other patches we got before. So I'm just going to be going through the changes list here for Kimberly's modifications. Yeah, can you shut the fuck? Okay, so I'm gonna be going through the changes that Kim got. It's a real page this time. Like, we actually got like a page of changes instead of the 10% changes or the previous literally nothing changes. And I got some notes on the side over here just so I can show off like how to actually practically... Yo, shut... My Kims are yapping in the back, bro. So I got like practical use cases for each of these changes and like how it actually like looks in game. So I'll be showing all of that off, and I'd like to like start off by just saying like a few of these changes like don't really matter all that much. Like this stand heavy kick change, for example, as far as I know, it doesn't really change anything. I think it's like a bug fix. This OD torso cleaver, I haven't seen anything on this yet. I've been trying to keep up and I haven't noticed anything like actually different about OD torso cleaver. I assume it's just like a slight hitbox change, so it's basically also a bug fix. And like this SA2 change, it's basically just like a bug fix, so the run change fits in a little bit better. I'm gonna just go in order my notes. So crouch light punch on hit, change the recovery on block from -2 to -1. So this isn't like a huge deal or anything, but this jab being one more frame plus means stagger pressure is like theoretically slightly better. Like you can technically delay, I think, by one more frame. I'm not entirely sure if that's how it works, but the frame data is a bit more in our favor. But for actual relevant things, so previously, if you did this on block, this would have been +2. So now we get an extra frame to work with in our frame traps. So this is now +3 on block. A crouch medium punch, I believe, should just work instead of getting a trade combo. So if I set him to mash here, I believe last patch, if you did drive rush jab into crouch medium punch, it would trade and you get a trade combo, but now it just works. So you don't have to worry if you're like at a sliver of chip or honestly just like about like weird spacing. Also, this extra frame allows you to get a crouch medium kick trade. So you have like a more potent low threat here and you get like a huge trade off of this. Should work mid screen as well. So that's actually really good, that trade combo conversion there, because often, a lot of the times, people would just like, they block a drive rush jab and they just walk back. Because, I mean, if Kim does crouch light kick, it's really not that bad if you just take like the, like 1000 damage. So most people would just like take the throw and walk back. Because then you either walk out of like a tick throw later or like don't take much damage from the low. Now we can actually go like pretty good damage with the low. Yeah, not too bad. A lot of quarter carry as well. And one thing that is actually legitimately big is how this crouch light punch interacts in burnout. So in burnout, like the common Kimberly string to do is like this. You do crouch jab and then stand medium punch and then run stop, and then you're left even at block. So that even beats most supers in the game. The even on block sequence beats most of the supers in the game, and you sort of like get to reset your pressure somewhat safely. But one of the weaknesses of this sequence was that between the crouch light punch and the medium, you could actually mash and it would trade. And you did get a trade combo, yes, but oftentimes when Kimberly puts the opponent in burnout, she actually has quite low health herself. So as soon as like she got in range to die to a jab, people would just start mashing on her pressure, and it sort of just fell apart. So now, rather than this being a trade, it just works. So that's really, really useful. The next change is the crouch light kick on hit is up from +2 to +4. So one of the just like the obvious things here is before you would have to chain cancel your lights for anything to combo here because it would only be +2. Now you can like do a super late jab and link it instead. So this became like really hit confirmable now. So you don't have to like commit to a string just to get a jab follow-up from the crouch light kick. But another relevant thing is that this is +6 on counter hit. So you can confirm this like into a medium as a jab string, which is very, very strong. So this basically just functions as like any other jab if it weren't cancelable now. Another thing that's quite nice is that you get to combo from drive rush with crouch heavy punch. So last patch, all you got from drive rush crouch light kick was a +6 situation because it was 2 frames less advantageous. So you would get like mediums, and you'd only get the crouch fierce on counter hit. This season, it just works like from any drive rush. So that really buffs the damage, actually. And then one more practical use case for this crouch light kick is that Desner showed me this, or at least showed me the application for this. So the jab has 14 frames recovery total. So usually mid-screen, if you want to hit somebody low, after throw, you just go for a crouch medium kick because you're +9 after, it does more damage, you get like a full stand fierce follow-up. And last season, if you went for a crouch light kick here, you got way less damage. You just got crouch light kick to stand medium kick. Wasn't really that crazy. But this season, this crouch light kick hits meaty, and with the additional 2 frames, you're +10, so you can still land stand fierce. And obviously, this still does less damage than the crouch medium kick, but the special thing here is that since the crouch light kick has less recovery than the crouch medium kick, you can actually throw out the crouch light kick as a meaty, and it will recover in time to bait 9 frame or higher supers. So yeah, in certain matchups like Kimberly, Lily, I don't even know, they keep changing this shit. Kimberly, Lily, I'm gonna just say Kimberly, Lily, and anyone else with more than 9 frames on their super. You can go for this crouch light kick, and it'll bait their super and also hit +10 on hit. So pretty potent, pretty nice to know. The next change is a hitbox change to forward heavy kick. So before the hurt box looked like this, which was very, very bad. It sort of just like lost to everything on the way down. So like there was this massive hurt box in front of her, so you could just like press jab on reaction. People didn't really know this, but you could just press jab on reaction and she'd flip out of it, and you'd get like a whole combo on her. You could literally do this every time on reaction, just jab her out of it, or parry it because it's super slow and terrible. But now they adjusted, they added like another hurt box here, or another hitbox here, and they dragged the hurt box down as well. So there is a slight bit of a disjoint now, so it's probably not quite as easy to jab. People were saying that this would help in the jury matchup. This is one of Kimberly's worst matchups because this low fireball is really hard for Kim to contest because she can't just slide under it, or EX teleport is also really too slow to deal with this. So the way people try to deal with this is with forward heavy kick, but unfortunately in this matchup it's kind of just too slow still. You have to be at like a really specific range for this to work, but it is more reliable now. Unfortunately, like with the speed that forward heavy kick still is, and like how slow it is to like actually get to the frames where she gets over the fireball. It's not really quite practical in this matchup, but it definitely is easier to get out. If you like go by frame in the hitbox reader, then I believe like Kim also retracts her hitbox a little bit faster, but this is not really like any sort of tech that you can put on this forward heavy kick. It's just like a nice quality of life adjustment that makes the move a bit easier to use. Still not a great move, but we can take what we can get. So one thing that was really annoying for Kimberly was her elbow drop, using it in neutral. So sometimes you would use an elbow drop and then the opponent would drive rush at you while you were still jumping off the ground. So if you like look at my inputs here, I go up forward and then almost immediately go down in medium punch. Let me move my dumbass. So I go up forward and then within like 5 frames, I'm doing the down plus medium punch. So what would happen is that you would do the up forward input and they would drive rush at the same time, which freezes the game for a few frames. So before it would give you, instead of like that 5 frame gap, that gap would be eaten by drive rush and you would get up forward plus medium punch instead of down medium punch. So it would give you fucking jump forward medium punch, which is super, super punishable. Like it's 40 frames long where you are doing basically nothing useful. So you would end up getting punished a lot for that, just attempting to do elbow drop and your input getting eaten by drive rush. And it seems that they've fixed this. I've still had it happen once, but that was it happening once to me, which could have been like a misinput or whatever, compared to this literally happening at least once or twice every single set on Kimberly, where you would just go like flying like a complete moron. And it does actually seem that this fix is working pretty well. So that is a super, super nice quality of life change. Like this move actually functions how you want it to function now. And by that, I mean it comes out. Okay, so now for pretty much the biggest change that Kim got this season. So run is now 2 frames faster. So run being 2 frames faster is really, really big. Previously, if Kim wanted to frame trap people, she would have to like land a crouch fierce or go for like some button kind of frame trap. And obviously like crouch fierce is like an extremely stubby button, so it was really hard to get your offense started from something that wasn't drive rush cancel or like completely fake. You kind of just had to like whiff punish them, drive rush, or spend a drive rush cancel to really start your offense. And now it's so much easier. So I'm gonna go over the changes to stand fierce later because that's sort of like a different thing. But now stand fierce into run is a frame trap. So there's only 2 frame gap, as you can see at the bottom. So if I set jury to match jab, she gets counter hit by the run. And if you counter hit somebody like this, you get like full Oki and everything. You can even get like a meteor overhead or whatever. It's like the same situation as any other hit into run. So it's super good to get this counter hit because now you can start your pressure from like an actual blocked button in neutral. So instead of having to like spend and commit so much meter to frame traps or like getting offense in, you can just do stand fierce and either run stop, start your offense from there, or you just let it rip, and then if they mash to try and stop the run stop, then they'll get counter hit and you get Oki. So that's all meterless, and it's from a damn good poke. Not only that, but if you accidentally land like a punish counter stand fierce, you get a full combo and they die. Even if you land a counter hit stand fierce, you can get a counter hit conversion and it's pretty good as well. And stand heavy punch and stand medium punch are the same thing on block, so you also get a frame trap from stand medium punch. And not only that, but the stand medium kick, previously this had no frame trap. It wasn't like stand medium punch and stand heavy punch where you could do an EX run for a frame trap. So there was literally nothing real you could do off of stand medium kick other than like a manually delayed slide, which is not a good idea for frame trap. I'm gonna just put it out there. But now this season, regular run will not frame trap, but if you spend EX run, then you do get a frame trap here, which is really, really nice because this button is very easy to make your opponent block, and now you get a real potent mix-up off of it, which is honestly really ridiculous that you get a whole mix-up just by making them block this. It's super, super strong. And one more thing that I actually forgot to mention is that with the run buffs to the frame advantage, or the run buffs to the speed of the move, you can actually get a frame trap off of target combo as well. So now there's a 4 frame gap, so they can mash jab on regular run. But the important thing is that, much like stand medium kick, if you spend EX run, you get a 2 frame gap. So there was a lot of people, surprisingly, that just autopiloted this target combo on block last season. A lot of Kim players, like mostly intermediate players. I always told them to stop doing that, and now you don't have to stop doing that, bro. Like, you do you, man. Like, keep doing that shit. It's a frame trap now. Just do EX run. That's kind of crazy because just like look at the meter damage on this. That's all real. Obviously, you can parry that, but you're basically trading 2 meters for 1.5 of theirs, which is quite strong. And even if you don't do that, you can just chip 1 meterlessly. So super good, honestly. Like, this run change is like really helps her chip meter, keep her own meter, start pressure, continue pressure. Like, it's just so strong. So basically that is just the application of like frame traps, but we also got a few new combos. Previously you had to confirm into slide if you got like a stand medium kick buffer, and this season run will just naturally combo because it's 2 frames faster. So that's kind of nice. You go up to 1394 damage compared to 1152, so that's really nice. Obviously before you could do medium vagabond, but that was like sort of more unsafe. So this is kind of just nice to like throw out there if you're like trying to steal a run stop or whatever. It shouldn't be understated how powerful these are, though. It is really, really strong to have real frame traps off of this. Like, this is genuinely like one of the biggest strengths a character has in the game now. We also get a few combos, though. So I think this is the most applicable one. So just from like a situation that could actually happen, you hit like a meaty stand heavy kick. Before, if you wanted to go into level 1, that was the best you could do. Does 27, 18 damage. But now, since run is sped up a little bit, you can combo run into level 1 from mid-screen. I don't think that was supposed to do less damage. Yeah, what the fuck? What? I don't know. I must have dropped a combo. But, yeah, you can combo the run mid-screen into level 1 for like 150 more damage from a typical heavy kick confirm, which is honestly a very good damage increase. You can also combo EX run into level 2. So like from a stand medium kick run buffer mid-screen, you can get 32% for level 2, which is quite strong. You could actually do this last season, but it had to be on the first hit. So yeah, it does 300 damage more now, and it's more consistent and way easier to confirm. And one more combo that doesn't really seem worth it to me, but it does work, and it didn't used to, is you can do target combo EX run level 3, which looks super weird. But it takes 2 bars and it only does 38%. So if you just go straight into level 3, I believe this does more damage. Yeah. So honestly, I have no idea why you would do that. There's got to be like some niche juggle situation where maybe it does like a little bit more damage, but for now, don't use that one. Okay, so next thing that got changed is Kimberly's light elbow. So I think this is the second time this move got buffed recently. So last time they buffed this move, they made it into like a poke that you can use in neutral, but it was kind of really hard to space, and often like you sort of just ended up getting yourself killed by trying to use this move rather than like, oh shit, my neutral got better. Yeah, it kind of just made the neutral worse because you ended up killing yourself by doing this move. But now this patch, as you can see there, it's down to -4 from -5. So it's still punishable by jabs, but this means that most characters' light kicks won't hit you, which is reaching a bit further. So there is spacings against some characters where their 4-frame will actually whiff. It's possible to do this on... I've tested so far Ed and Lily. This is really, really funny against Lily. So you can get a -4 elbow on Lily. That elbow's like roughly -4. You can get a -4 elbow on Lily where her 4-frame just whiffs. So Lily can't actually punish light elbow from a lot of distances. Obviously, if you do like a really bad one from like point blank, she'll punish it. But there's a lot of ranges where Lily's 4-frame will whiff, and you can just whiff punish into 3,000 damage meterlessly, which is really funny. Previously, Lily could just use like her 5-frame or whatever, and she'd get like a reliable punish on a misspaced elbow, but there are certain situations now where you just don't have to care anymore. Not only that, but the spacing for the -2 elbow now, up from -3, is a lot more reliable. I find that before you could get like a -3 elbow, -4 elbow, or a -5 elbow. Now they're all either -2 or -4. So they kind of homogenized like the result on like what you would get on block. So now it's very apparently either like a nicely spaced elbow that's -2 and you get a combo on hit, or like very obviously like a trash elbow. It's also just like, in my experience, a lot easier to hit the -2 elbow. So they also reduced the pushback on this light elbow. And honestly, before you would always get the stand light kick on regular hit. This sort of comes into play more. With counter hit. So before, if you got like a counter hit elbow, a lot of the times they would be pushed back too far to get a stand medium punch, which would be the conversion you want to go into. And now it feels like it always just works. So that's really, really nice reliability. Like, you actually feel like you get the reward you were supposed to get. This also gives you like better reliable conversions from punish counter as well. Like if you get a spaced light elbow punish counter, like a little wish punish, you can get stand fierce more reliably. Pretty good. And one interesting thing is that in burnout, since this is now even on block, or it's -4 on block, in burnout it means that it's even on block. So you can sort of just like make your opponent block this all day, because it's even on block. If they're at chip range, this is basically just GG. Because if they match their own jab, they're gonna get hit by the jab on a trade, so they're kind of just dead unless they super. And I have one forbidden tech with this. And technically you could do this last season, but the issue with it, doing drive rush light elbow, the issue with that, if you could call it one, was that the -5 was actually like a pretty big punish for most characters, so you kind of didn't want to do it. So now that the punishment is not as bad as before, I have used this a few times since the patch, and it sort of seems worth it when you have the read. Obviously you have to space it better than the training mode bot, but I mean, you get +7. You get +7 if this punish counters. You get a whole medium punch, bro. Pretty good. It's kind of like a Street Fighter 6 ass thing to do, but you know, you get +7 and it works, and it's less punishable. So, you know, think about that one. You know, stew on that one. So the last change that Kim got, well, there's one more to go over, but the last like super major thing that Kim got was this stand fierce. So I'm gonna just demonstrate this on training mode. So just look where Kim is standing, and then if I press stand fierce, she's now standing like 4 of those lines on the ground further. She like lunges into this move super far. So I don't have the hitboxes right now, but if you look at the actual hitboxes and the frame data, this is a 31 frame move. Stand medium kick is a 28 frame move. So now stand heavy punch has like barely less range than stand medium kick. It's actually like a super good button. And it's only 3 frames slower total. So we kind of got a second stand medium kick this patch. But not only that, but with the run changes, it's super easy to make people block this and have to hold a mix-up between the run cancel and run stop. Damn, I'm talented. But not only that, but this really increases our reward on whiff punishes. So a lot of the time before, Kim would have to do stand medium kick for whiff punish because her stand fierce range was pretty trash. And now, as you can see, like stand heavy punch just works from everywhere, bro. It's so good. So that really like ups the damage. Before we'd have to like spend a bunch of meter for the same damage. Not even the same damage, still 400 less. And now we can just press stand fierce. Stand fierce with punishes like literally everything. This got a lot of people complaining about it. We also got like a slight hitbox shift, or a hitbox shift. This button's always been super disjointed, as you can see. For some reason they took out like a little bit down here, probably to compensate with the fact that she like super lunges into it now. So I don't really know what this is, honestly. I can't tell if this is a nerf or what, but all I know is that the button is cracked and the cancel is cracked. So yeah, just match this move, honestly. It's so busted. It's disjointed. It goes super far. You have like a safe frame trap from it. You got a run stop from it. And it does 1 billion trillion damage if you whiff punish something with it. So just mash this move, honestly. It's busted. People won't learn to whiff punish it for another several weeks. We're good. And the last thing I have here is Kim's down forward medium kick. So this slide was previously kind of ass because you would like throw it out, you would catch someone's toes, and then you would hit them, and you would be like -2 on hit. And obviously, as you can see on the screen right there, it says +1. So the worst that this move can now be on hit is +1. So if you actually hit this move, they're forced to block after. Because it was really awkward last season because like you would hit them with this move and you would like kind of be wondering like, am I plus here or am I not plus here? And people would just always mash, and most of the time, I'm not gonna lie, your ass was not plus. I've been counter hit out of this move so many times, or people just like mashing throw or whatever, and it just beats like me trying to press jab. Now I don't have to worry about that. I just press jab and they get counter hit because they still think that it's the last patch and that they're plus, but they're not. It's great. They also adjusted this on block, so it's always -5 at worst, which is really nice because previously if you did like a bad slide, they could punish like way harder, like start with mediums. So that's very nice. And I think this is technically a nerf, but it's a very deserved one. If you hit a punish counter, then it knocks them down. So you do get like a really good knockdown. It's +37. And I think the reason for this is because since this is +1 on regular hit now, if you did like a terrible punish counter slide, just like throwing it out there YOLO, you would get +5. So you'd be able to get like a full combo even though your slide was not properly spaced. So I don't think that they wanted Kim to just like walk around and then do slide whenever she sees anything happen. So this is technically a nerf, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's just to prevent her from getting a like a whole jab follow-up. But it doesn't affect like her meaty setups or anything, or like a well-spaced slide punish counter. Yeah, so it's really nice quality of life. You don't have to worry about your moves being minus on hit anymore. So yeah, that's pretty much all the... So yeah, that's the super important changes that Kimberly got. I think she's looking pretty good this season. These changes make her like an offensive monster. Like she kind of just like walks around, she presses stand fierce, and then she makes you guess. Just by blocking her stand fierce, you're forced to guess. And this button's a legitimately good button now. So she walks around, she either makes you block it or she whiff punishes something into a lot of damage. She's kind of like a mid-range monster, but not like the Shoto variety. She's got her own like personality. Unfortunately, like despite how much better like her mid-range threat got, she still struggles to deal with people walking back and fireballs, because even though this medium kick got improved, it's still unsafe on block. So it's not really like a worthwhile thing to like frame trap or stop people from walking back. So this button's still way too stubby. This is unsafe. This is unsafe. And her crutch light kick is still like too stubby to stop people from walking back. So Kim still struggles to stop people from walking back. She still struggles against fireballs really bad, because this slide, even though it got buff, it's still not fantastic for actually getting under fireballs on reaction and beating them. It's pretty good on prediction, and it's like sort of safer now, which is nice. But especially against like Jury Fireball, Terry Fireball, or Guile Sonic Boom, Rashid's Tornadoes, she still struggles a lot in neutral against them. And another matchup where it's still quite difficult is Ken. So Ken is still quite difficult to deal with. We still don't have an answer to Jinrai, so with no reversal and a super that's too slow to punish Jinrai. So Ken can still mash Jinrai on us. That matchup is very, very bad still. So, I mean, Kim got huge buffs, and she should do better against these characters in general, but her weaknesses are still very, very present, and nothing's been done about like her defense or her low threat, which is not great. Also, her damage is still very weak, so if I do forward throw, it still does 1082 damage. Other characters, every other character except like Jamie with no drinks, does 1200 damage. And her damage in general is also quite weak. So, yeah. Kim got buffed a lot as a character. She's definitely, like, extremely cheap now. Like, she literally does not outplay you. Like, your ass blocks a fierce, and you just have to guess. It's so, so cheap. And this button is also super hard to counterplay because of, like, how disjointed it is. Like, if you're just trying to press a medium, you're gonna get cooked by Stand Fierce. I'm sorry to tell you. Your gas is getting killed. So, yeah. Kim is super, super cheap. But she still has a bunch of bad matchups, which is kind of tragic, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, I'm kind of optimistic about how these changes will do against Kim. I'm really hoping that after Capcom Cup, we get some nerfs on Rashid, Ken, Akuma, make them a bit worse, because their changes, bro, Rashid and Ken got literally like no nerfs, and Akuma is still ridiculous. So I think we're still decidedly mid tier, up from low tier, which is really nice. You know, we went up on the tier list. We don't like randomly lose to terrible characters anymore. We can actually like run the game plan that we want to run, and we have distinct weaknesses. So honestly, I think Kimberly is in the spot where the rest of the cast should be very strong. They can have like their own unique game plan, but they have distinct weaknesses. Unfortunately, this game is not balanced that way, and we have characters like Rashid who have everything with no weakness, or Akuma that has everything and they have 9k health, so it's okay. But yeah, I mean, it's looking up for Kim players. We might still need like a secondary for some of our worst matchups, but you know, we up. So, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys do well with the changes. If you got any tech, by all means, hit me up on Twitter. Show me the tech. I might do like a tech video this season if I get like a good amount of cool things that I can show off. And, you know, subscribe. Hit up my Twitch. You know, come to Perfect Storm. I'm running an event in 2 months. That shit would be sick. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.